the deep state. Trump's war with the deep state swamp is just beginning. The concept of the deep state is not something that has been in the minds of the American people until the past few months, but is now quickly becoming a commonly used term. In fact, although once regarded strictly as conspiracy theory jargon, the average American has recently witnessed the deep state in action, leaving little to no doubt that such an entity most certainly does exist. The term, quote, deep state is generally referred to as a collective of members of the intelligence community, establishment elites, extremely wealthy, quote, shadow rulers like George Soros, and members of the mainstream media. This loose conglomerate of string pullers, quote, operates in concerted effort to make things happen, and has long been the subject of many a bunker-dwelling conspiracy theorists, although now their existence has become undeniable. Though the term has been around for quite some time and has been used in reference to non-American governments and countries, it has also been applied to the political scene in America itself. However, until recently, it has largely been met with skepticism and overlooked as little more than a conspiracy theory. However, in recent months, it has become apparent that there is such an entity in existence in some form or another, as we've seen the blatant and desperate attempts to undermine President Trump. A disturbingly coordinated effort between the mainstream media and establishment politicians from both ends of the political spectrum. At this point, it has become undeniable that there are larger forces at work, all of whom are involved in a concerted effort to remove President Trump from power, and who are so arrogant that they're not even bothered to hide their agenda. In their desperation, the men behind the curtain have made many recent mistakes and have not bothered to cloak themselves in the shadow which once kept them hidden in the darkness. This tactical error, stemming from their desperate and frantic fear as they've seen their own control over the country slipping away, has led them to make many possibly fatal mistakes, and they've exposed themselves to more Americans than ever before. When Donald Trump began gaining steam in the 2016 U.S. presidential election, the evidence of such an organization began to surface. Suddenly, negative things began being released against Trump at an alarming rate. Things like the locker room, quote, secret tape, and who was behind it but someone tied to the Bush family. As things heated up, and it became more clear that Trump would likely win, the powers that be began to panic. After the election, these united enemies of President Trump have not attempted to hide their presence or influence nearly as much as they have previously done. Politicians supposedly on his side have taken every opportunity to oppose him and undermine his decisions. The intelligence community has openly engaged in a seditious smear campaign against him, even going so far as to push fake news and anti-Trump propaganda. The lying mainstream media has led a relentless assault against our president as well. They have promoted slanderous and libelous lies against President Trump and his family at a non-stop pace since he announced his candidacy. None of this is coincidental. It is indeed a concerted effort on the part of those who see themselves as our superiors and rulers to stop the American people from regaining control of our country. President Trump terrifies them because he's an outsider who isn't part of their elite club, and most importantly, because he refuses to serve them. Rather, he remains loyal to the average American people. After ruling over us like lords for decades, these would-be kings are scared and angry and have come to feel extreme disdain for the American people who chose Trump to help take our freedom back. They are desperate to remain in power and continue to lord over us as if we were merely peasants, and they are incredulous towards the average American for daring to rise against them. The election of President Trump sent them a clear message, but they're too arrogant to heed it. Rather than slithering back into the shadows they have dwelled in for so long, they're engaging in open rebellion against both Trump and the American people. In doing so, they've made a costly tactical error and have exposed their existence and their agenda to more people than they ever dreamed possible. And also, I'd like to add, that's why now Google is trying to silence all the alternative media. You know, you can check Sticks and Hammer 666's channel, which I watch. Very excellent journalist. Yesterday he posted a video stating this, that Google, and that we should share it everywhere. Google is trying to silence the mainstream alternative, not the mainstream, excuse me, the alternative media by just shutting them down. They don't want anything talking about any news articles, political or religion or who knows what. But you can take a listen to his video there, Sticks and Hammer 666. Amazing guy. And find out more. It was posted yesterday. Again, let us know what you think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.